Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be showing you how I made this beautiful cardigan, and I have all of the materials that I used on screen, so let's get straight into it. So to begin making our heart, we're going to take our yarn and wrap it around our two fingers, creating an X like this. Then take your hook and put it underneath the first loop, twist it and grab the second loop and pull it through. So now you have one loop on your hook. You're going to hold that extra string because we're going to crochet over that. So now chain 3. And we're going to double crochet into the circle. So wrap the yarn around your hook, pull through 2 loops, and pull through 2 loops. That is how you do a double crochet. Now we're going to do one more into the circle. Pull through 2 and pull through 2. Now to create our corner, we're going to chain 2 and do 3 more double crochets into the middle. So pull your yarn through, and now that extra string, we use it to cinch in the middle, which at the end will make the gap disappear. Chain 2, and we're going to do 2 more sets of 3 double crochets into the middle. Now once you have your 4 sets of 3 double crochets, make sure you've chained 2, and we're going to pull on that extra string and it will make the little gap in the middle disappear. Now I'm swapping to my 3mm hook, and we're going to go into the 3rd stitch of our chain 3. Now swapping hooks is completely optional, it's just that the stitch was a bit tight. And you're going to go through both of the loops, creating like a V. Pull it through the first 2. And then you're going to take that loop, the first loop, and pull it through the second loop. And that's how you do a slip stitch. Now I'm swapping back to my 4.5mm hook. Again, the hook change was completely optional. And we're going to chain 1. Now we're going to do 8 double crochets into our first chain 2 space. So pull the yarn through, pull through 2, and pull through 2. And you're going to repeat this 7 more times. Now once you've done your 8 double crochets, just count over to make sure. And we're going to chain 1 and then single crochet into our next chain 2 space. Pull through both. Now chain 1, and we're going to go into the middle double crochet stitch, and we're going to do 2 single crochets into the top of that stitch. So the middle one. One more. And then we're going to chain 1 and do 2 more single crochets into that same stitch. Here I added a stitch marker, but that is completely optional. I just kind of wanted it to hold its shape, but again, it's completely not necessary. So 2 more single crochets into that same middle stitch. And now chain 1. And here, the point of our heart has formed. So here we've done half of a heart. How cute. So now we're going to do a single crochet into the next chain 2 space. And then chain 1. And we're going to do 8 more double crochets into our last chain 2 space. So pull through 2 and pull through 2. Now again, once you've done your 8 double crochets, do count over to make sure. And I'm swapping back to my 3mm hook, and we're going to go into that stitch right where my thumb is, and we're going to slip stitch into that. So take your hook, put it through both of the loops, and pull your yarn through the first 2. And now take that first loop and pull it through the second one. That's a slip stitch, and that's our heart completed. Now here I would actually recommend for you to add a stitch marker, because once we cut the string off, it can be easily forgotten when we make our granny square. So definitely do put a stitch marker there. It just makes life 10 times easier. And here I decided to leave in the clip of me putting my excess yarn away, just in case anyone didn't know how to do that. But that is literally all. That is just it on how to make the heart. I hope I explained well. This was my first proper tutorial. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. And if there are any other crochet projects that you want to see on my channel, if this reaches any people, do let me know. I'm learning just as much as you are. Look how cute! That's our heart completed. Now we're going to make the granny square around the heart. So take your yarn, wrap it around your fingers and make a slip knot. So this time you're going to pull the yarn through all the way, and we're going to slip stitch into the back loop of that top chain 1 that we did. So if you placed a stitch marker, this is where it should have been. And now we're going to single crochet into the back loop. So all of these are going to be back loop stitches. So now wrap your yarn around the hook and half double crochet into the back loop of the next stitch. So I slowed it down because I was going a bit fast. So pull through all 3. And now you're going to double crochet into the next stitch, the back loop. Make sure you remember that. Now wrap your yarn around your hook 2 times, insert, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2. That's how you do a triple crochet. So now you're going to chain 2 and then double crochet into the next back loop. And now half double crochet. And then into the next 4 stitches, we're going to single crochet. Make sure you only do it in the back loops. So now chain 2, and we're going to do 4 more single crochets. So into the next 4 stitches, we're going to do 1 single crochet in each. I hope this is making sense. And now remove your stitch marker, because we're going to single crochet. That will be our last single crochet there. And now you're going to half double crochet into that gap right where my thumb is. So go through, this time not the back loop, but right in that gap. I hope you can see. So essentially you should have 2 loops on your hook this time. And now pull through all 3. And here I'm swapping back to my 3mm hook. So right where we did our half double crochet, you're going to pull back that half double crochet, and you should see those two loops? You're going to put your hook into the back loop, pull it through, and that's your single crochet. Now you're going to do 3 more single crochets. Now chain 2, and we're going to do 4 more single crochets into the next 4 stitches, so 1 in each. Now we're going to half double crochet into the next back loop, double crochet, chain 2, triple crochet into the next back loop, so wrap your yarn around your hook 2 times, and now double crochet into the next back loop. I'm struggling a bit here. Double crochet, half double crochet, and lastly single crochet into the next and last back loop. And so now into that first slip stitch or chain 1, we're going to insert our hook, pull it through, and then slip stitch. So there you go. That's our first row and the beginning of our square. How cute. So now you're going to chain 3, and right into that same stitch, you're going to do 2 double crochets. Chain 1 as our spacer, and we're going to do 3 double crochets into that chain 2 space. One more, and then to make our corner we're going to chain 2 and do 3 more double crochets into that same chain 2 space. Now chain 1, and you're going to pull back your double crochet and count 4 stitches. So into that 4th one, you're going to insert your hook right into that 4th one, and you're going to do 3 double crochets into that 4th stitch. And this time, sorry I forgot to mention, we're going to go through both loops. So no more back loops. That was just for the beginning row. Now chain 1, and into that chain 2 space, it's quite small but it's there, you're going to do 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, all into that same chain 2 space. Chain 2, 3 more double crochets. Chain 1, and then you're going to count 5 stitches, and into that 5th stitch, also known as the half double crochet that we did, you're going to do 3 double crochets. So 3 double crochets on top of that half double crochet that we did. Now chain 1, and we're going to do 3 double crochets into that chain 2 space. It's there. So 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. So 3 more double crochets into that same chain 2 space. Chain 1. Now pull back and count 3, and into that third one, into that third stitch, you're going to do 3 double crochets. Chain 1, and then into that corner space, you're going to do 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. Okay, so now I'm swapping to my 3.5mm hook because we're going to be slip stitching into this top loop of our chain 3. So you're going to have both the loops on your hook and pull through both. And now for our last row, to grab 4.5mm hook, chain 3, and then you're going to wrap your yarn around your hook and go into this space right here. So you're going to double crochet, I'm sorry, I'm not sure if I mentioned that, but you're going to double crochet into that space, chain 1, and you're going to do 3 double crochets into this next space. Pull through 2 and pull through 2. You're going to repeat this one more time, and then chain 1. And I'm just going to explain what you do. So once you reach a corner, you're going to do 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and then into the singular spaces you're going to do 3 double crochets, chain 1, and then oops, sorry, there's a hair. And then yeah, that is literally all you do all the way around, and I will see you when I'm done. I promise it's very simple. You just repeat this same thing. Okay, so here is the finished square. It looks a bit weird, but that's just because I need to put all the strings away that are at the back because I added in a lot of cream string because I'm using up extra yarn. But yeah, this is the square, and now I'm going to talk you through how I made the back panel. So here is my completed back piece. I used 14 squares and I didn't show me connecting everything together, but if you're unsure of how to do so, then go to the timestamp on the screen and I actually show an example of me doing so. But yeah, so how I connected them was I put them into rows, and I show in this clip here. So see, I single crocheted them together, so it's kind of like a row. But now we're making the front panel, so you're going to insert your hook into the first chain 2 space at the bottom, and then put your yarn over your hook, pull it through, and chain 3. And now you're going to do 2 more double crochets into that same chain 2 space. Chain 1, and you're going to do 3 more double crochets into the next space. And this is really all we're going to do for 4 rows. So we're going to have 4 rows of purely just 3 double crochets, and in between each 3 double crochet, make sure you chain 1. So here I'm going to show you one more example and then I'll let you get on. So here I have done the second to last double crochet cluster, and now I'm going to do 3 double crochets into that last chain 2 space. And now you're going to chain 3 and turn your work to the back side, and you're going to do 3 double crochets into that next space. And that is how you move on to your next row. And you're going to do this all the way along for 3 more rows. So here is the completed back panel and 1 attached front panel. I haven't attached the other one because I want to show you how to do that. But for the back panel, what I started off by doing was I put 4 squares above each other, and then I just single crocheted. Make sure that your stitches are aligned, and then do that there. And then you're going to make 4 of those aligned across, and then I just single crocheted them vertically, and that's it. That really is it. And then here for the front panel, so we did 1, 2, 3. This is the square, but then I added on 4 rows of double crochets. So you're going to do single crochet, attach, and then you're just going to add on 4 rows of double crochets. And I single crocheted them all the way up until 8 inches, and then I just left a gap here. So yeah, that's really it. And now I'm going to show you how to attach the front panel, and that will be a big chunk of our heart cardigan done. So here is my attached front panel. I've attached it using single crochets to the back panel up until I reach 8 inches, and then I cut off my yarn. So here I placed stitch markers on the first chain of where the seam would be on both sides, so that once we connect them, it will be symmetrical. Now I'm taking my 3.5mm hook and I'm inserting it into the first chain of the chain 2. And then take your yarn, place it over your hook, and you're going to pull through and chain 1. And now we're going to go into that next stitch on both of the panels. So you're going to go through that same stitch on both panels and then single crochet. So you're going to repeat this all the way up until you reach 8 inches. And this really is all it is. You're just going to go through the same stitch on both panels and single crochet them together. So I'm going to show you a few more times and then I'll let you get on. So now I'm just single crocheting my last stitch, and my light fell here, but Yeah, so that was my last stitch, and now I'm going to show you what to do once you reach a stitch marker. The stitch marker is just there so that it helps me keep my seams aligned. But now you're going to go into that stitch right where your stitch marker was. So for me it's my chain 1, and you're going to go through the chain 1 on the other side as well. And that's all you do when you get to the stitch marker. You just continue until you reach 8 inches, and then you'll cut off your yarn. So you're just going to continue this all the way along, and I'll meet you back once we've attached it all the way. See? Look how symmetrical, so pretty. So now we're going to make our sleeve. So you're going to take 2 squares, flip one upside down, and place it on top of the other square that is right side up. So now we have right sides together, and we're going to take our hook and insert it into the first chain of the chain 2 space on both squares. And now you're going to take your yarn and put it over your hook, pull through and chain 1. And now we're just going to single crochet across. So we're going to go into that space right there, and then on the other square we're going to go into that exact same space, pull through too. And you're going to repeat that all the way along so that we have a nice symmetrical seam. Now repeat this all the way along, and see, when we flip it out, they're both facing the same way. So once you have single crocheted all the way across, here I'm just showing me going into that first chain of the chain 2 space, and now just grabbing my scissors and cutting off that extra yarn and pulling it through, and that is how I attach my squares. And then for the front panel, if you were to do that, you're going to add on 2 more squares the same way. So now I'm taking my 4.5mm hook and I'm inserting it into that chain 2 space, putting my yarn on, pulling it through and chaining 3. And now we're going to be repeating the same method as we did for the front panel. So we're just going to do 3 double crochets into each space. Chain 1 and 3 more double crochets into the next space. So once you've reached the end, you're going to do this 2 times, by the way. So here, I'm pretty sure I did it twice. No, okay, so chain 3, and then turn your work, and we're going to repeat this one more time so that in total we have 2 rows. So we're going to double crochet 3 times into the next space and just repeat this all the way along until you reach the end for our sleeve. So just repeat this all the way to the end, and also do this on the other side of the square, so both edges have 2 rows of 3 double crochets. So you're going to do this once more so that you have 4 squares joined with 2 rows of 3 double crochets on the sides. And now I'm going to show you how to connect them together. The connecting process is very simple. It's just single crocheting the sides together. So you're going to put the right sides together. And I'm just grabbing my 3.5mm hook, which I'm pretty sure I used for the whole assembly process of the cardigan. And you're just going to insert it once again into the first chain of the chain 2 space. Now grab your yarn, pull it through, struggling a bit. So pull it through, chain 1, and then into the next stitch you go on both squares. Now some people like to kind of just do it roughly, but I feel like if you're able to go through both of the same stitches on both squares, then you should, just so that it looks a bit more cleaner. So pull through, and you're going to do this all the way along on both sides of the 2 squares, so the longer sides. And then at the end we're going to flip it inside out so that we have the right side to show off. Okay everyone, so I've done one sleeve. Well, I've done the other one, and I've also done the trim for it, but don't worry, I will show you how to do the trim. But this is what the finished attached sleeve looks like. I just single crocheted, and I will show you how to attach it, no worries. But yeah, so now we just need to flip it inside out, and that is your sleeve. All is left is to attach it. Now this might be a bit difficult for me to show, but I'm gonna try my best. So here is our gap, and what you're going to do is you're going to decide which side, sorry if it's a bit dark, you're going to decide which side you want to be on the outside. I might do this side, yeah. And now you're going to grab the seam. Okay, so yeah, okay, so you're gonna have it like this. Make sure you flip it outwards, and then you're going to insert it like this, so it's kind of like sandwiched in between, because once we flip it over, see, it will be on the outside. So okay, you're gonna have it sandwiched in between, and I just like to make sure that the seams are aligned so that it looks cleaner. And yeah, once your seams are aligned, you should be good. And here I'm using a 2.5mm hook, and I kind of just go through like the slip stitches just kind of like randomly. And now I need to grab my yarn. I hope that this is kind of clear. And I'm just gonna put it on like this. I'll kind of zoom in. And then you're gonna pull through both and then chain one. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be single crocheting, and here the beginning part, you don't need to really worry about it being like accurately aligned because it will be a bit off. So I just kind of, you know, go through the stitches that I come across, because it is a bit off. Just kind of randomly go with it. If you got this far, then like you'll find a way. So yeah, I hope that this is like somewhat clear. So yeah, you're just going to single, kind of messed up there. You're just gonna single crochet up until you reach the middle. So you're going to do this up until, so you're going to single crochet, make sure that it's inverted and that the sleeve is on the outside like that. So you're going to, it's a bit messy, but see, you're going to single crochet all along up until you reach this middle point. So just keep connecting it. Okay, so here I have single crocheted all the way up from the middle upwards. And now I'm just going to cut off my string and pull it through to end off our seam. And now you're going to grab your hook and repeat that same process going upwards. So you're going to insert into the middle on both panels and just single crochet all the way upwards once more. Here I'm just zooming in so you have a better look. But yeah, it is quite simple. In the beginning, when you're connecting the panels, it doesn't matter necessarily if the stitches are aligned, because as you saw when I was aligning mine, they weren't really. But once you do go on for a bit, you should roughly be going back through the same stitches on both panels. So I'm just going through this one. Sorry, I'm a bit out of frame here, but it is just the same thing as before. Just single crocheting all the way from the middle upwards until we reach the top. Okay, so I just decided to turn on the camera because I kind of want to share a mistake that I made and how I fixed it. So this is how I did it. So the sleeve is correct, I attached the sleeve correctly, and then I did this right here and I cut the string off, and I did not sew the front panel like this. I didn't sew it across, which is the mistake, because when I tried it on, it wasn't sitting on my shoulders. So I had to figure out how I was going to fix that. And so I undid a bit of the knots here, or stitches, sorry, and I am now going to sew this. So this is the back panel together with the front panel, and to do this you're just going to single crochet into the same stitch. So for example, I'm going to go into this chain 1 on the back panel, and I'm going to go into the chain 1 on the front panel, and make sure that these are inverted, so the right sides are together and the wrong sides are out. So yeah, making this cardigan was definitely a learning experience for me. I did make a cardigan before, but I was following Emma P's tutorial, so I was having assistance, but here I'm just kind of freestyling in a way. Like I did watch I tried to watch a video, but I still kind of wanted to switch up a few things and kind of make it more like tailored to me. If it will let me go in. But yeah, so this is what I'm going to do, and I'm not going to do it all the way because, as you can see, so this is the side that I did fix it on. So I did it up until like half, attached it, and then I just did the trim on this sleeve. I will show you how to do that. But yeah, so I'm going to do this until I get to like around the middle of the heart, and I will come back and we can continue. Okay, so now I've done both shoulders, and as a reference I've left out 2 double crochets, and I've single crocheted for 4.5 inches on both shoulders, and that's basically our cardigan complete. I'm just going to show you how to do the trim. That's really all that is left to do. So now I'm taking my 3.5mm hook, and I'm going to insert into this chain 1 space. Now grab your yarn, whatever colour, and put it over your hook, pull through chain 1, and then chain 3. Then you're going to wrap your yarn around your hook and double crochet into every single stitch along. Just pull through, pull through. That is really all you need to do in order to make your trim. So you're going to do this all the way across and up and around like the shoulder area. And this, my friends, is the completed cardigan. Look how beautiful it is. I had so much fun making it, and I'm so glad that I got to make it into a video. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please do let me know what more videos I like to see on my channel. I'm thinking of doing like art related videos and also clothes, like fashion, because those are just some of the things that I enjoy. But yeah, definitely do let me know, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching.